My name is Luke Wakefield. I am head of operations at VICTA, and we are a national charity that work with visually impaired young people and young adults. We're based in Milton Keynes, but we deliver our activities all over the country. Part of our work as a charity, we do lots of fundraising activities, and a couple of big fundraising activities for us are the London Marathon and the Big Half, which is also in London. Our fundraising team, just a phone call or an email away, we can give you lots of fundraising tips and advice. We've got some of our runners in the past have done all sorts of different things, from bag packing at supermarkets to sort of virtual quiz nights, all manner of different activities. We've got some very extreme fundraisers. We've done skydiving and all sorts of things like that. So there is a real range of ideas and opportunities out there. And our fundraising team are just, like I say, a phone call or an email away, just for a bit of inspiration if you're finding yourself a little bit stuck with some fundraising ideas. Well, if you want to win it, you've got to run very, very fast. I know that much. I'm not anywhere near that kind of quality of a runner to be winning any races, but to be honest, the fun for me when I take part in any of these mass participation running events like the London Marathon and half marathons and even sort of 10K and local 5K events, the fun for me is just the atmosphere that you get from being on the start line with everybody. Everyone is different, everyone's got different motivations for being there. Not everyone's the quickest, and not everyone's there to win or get on the podium at the end, but everyone taking part and crosses that finish line gets a medal. And I think, to be honest, that's the motivation for a lot of people, is that sort of personal motivation to do well, perhaps beat your personal best from previous runs, all that training effort that you've put in. And it's really sort of, I suppose, a little bit of a competition against yourself and just sort of seeing how best you can do yourself. But the atmosphere when you're with large groups of runners like that is just brilliant. And when you've got the supporters on the side that are cheering, and they've made signs and banners and all the shouting that goes on, and the motivation when you cross the finish line just when you've run out of energy is really motivating. So I would encourage anyone who hasn't laced up the shoes before and wants to take part, anything like that at all, is well worth giving it a go. And if the added motivation of running for a charity where raising a little bit of money as well, it just makes it all worthwhile. I definitely have lots of footage and lots of audio of the crowd as you're running past, because 13 miles for a half marathon is a very long way, let alone 26 miles for a full marathon. So there'll be times where you just having that battle in your head thinking, oh, is this something I want to do? I should stop now. My feet are hurting, legs are hurting, I'm really thirsty. I need to stop. And actually, if you're encouraging runners to take part and be inspired and motivated, then understanding that the support that's out there, just from total strangers, but shouting your name, because you'll have your name on your vest as you're running past, it just motivates you, just picks up the speed, picks up your legs, and encourages you to get to that finish line. So any promotional video I would create would definitely focus on the crowd and the support that you get. I'm lucky enough to run the London Marathon, but the London Marathon itself is part of a series of, I think it's 6 marathons. I think they're called the World Marathon Series. So I would really like to try the marathon in Tokyo. I think there's one there, and there's a couple in America as well. Some really sort of iconic landmarks and places to run around, cities to run through. That'd be amazing. And like I said, I am not a quick runner by any means, but I do enjoy watching a lot of athletics. So it'd be great if, as long as he would be happy to slow down and run alongside me, I'd love to do a marathon with Mo Farah. But I think I would be far too slow for him. I would definitely encourage any brand new runners to go to a specialist sort of running shop, and it's very clever what they do in there now, because they've got special machines, and they get you on the treadmill to measure your running stride and your running gait, so they can work out what type of runner you are and find the right shoes that are comfortable for you as you're setting out on your running journey, if you like. But to be honest, having run something like the London Marathon, you see lots of people running in different fancy dress, and what they've got on their feet doesn't look comfortable at all, but it's part of their costume. So I've even seen somebody run the London Marathon barefoot, which just seems crazy to me. But I would think if you're looking for a comfortable run, I would get yourself down to a specialist running shop, and they'll be able to give you the right advice to find the right running shoes. We've got a very special fundraisers only area, and in that area we've got lots and lots of information around training plans, nutritional advice, and all sorts of information to help runners who've perhaps never run a marathon before, or even if you have been an experienced marathon runner, it's always good just to find out and remind yourself of that important information. So I would, for anyone looking to find the right training plan or information around nutrition to get ready for a marathon, I would definitely seek advice from a professional. There's lots of people out there with lots of advice and training plans and lots of downloadable things if you just search for it on Google. But if you really want to make sure that it's the right thing for you, then I would definitely seek the advice of a professional. And that's what we've done at VICTA. We've got a professional running coach who's put together training plans and advice that's on our fundraising area. So anyone that does run with us has access to all that information. Places for the London Marathon and the Big Half we've got promoted on our website. I believe that British Blind Sport also have a few places for the London Marathon and possibly even the Big Half. So for anybody that wants to run for them, I'm sure they can visit their website for the full details. In terms of their open days, I don't think I've actually been to one of their open days, but I know a few people that have been, and they sound amazing, always really popular. And we try and promote those days to our families and young people to try and attend, because obviously it's really important for everybody to get that exercise. If you can enjoy it whilst you're doing it and find a sport that suits you, even better. So we encourage a lot of our young people to quite literally have a go at these have a go days that British Blind Sport do. But yeah, anyone looking to run for VICTA in particular, you just need to come and visit our website, victa.org.uk, or you can give us a call, 01908 240 831, or you can email us as well, marathon@victa.org.uk. We're very, very lucky that with all of the activities that we put on, that we are supported by a really brilliant volunteer group. We've got volunteers from all over the country that give up their time to volunteer and support our activities. So as well as running the Big Half or running the London Marathon, if running's not your thing, but if you still want to do something to support the work that we do as a charity, we are always looking for volunteers. So please visit the website victa.org.uk, and there's a little tab there all around volunteering and how you can support us. So please visit that page and give us a call, drop us an email, and we'd be more than happy to talk about volunteering. Absolutely. I think when you're attending any of these events, these sort of mass participation running events, everyone's just so excited to be there. Everyone's really encouraging, and I think everybody knows that there's lots of different abilities and ages and sort of different sort of levels of fitness, but everyone's really friendly and supportive about it. So what you do find is that those people that are quicker and that finish first, they do hang around at the end and are waiting for those less quicker runners to come through and cheering on, and it's a really lovely atmosphere. So I don't think there's any sort of hostility or anything like that from faster runners. It's all really friendly, great atmosphere, great vibes, and a really supportive environment. So anyone that perhaps is a little bit hesitant or hasn't done anything like that before and might feel a bit hesitant about going into that kind of environment, please don't be, because the running community as a whole is very, very supportive of anyone that's prepared to sort of tight laces and get out on the track. I would advise lots of warming up before you go running, lots of stretching and things like that, and getting professional advice around your running. Maybe get someone to record you running, and they might be able to, a professional sort of coach, to record you running, that might be able to give you some advice on your running form and things like that to help you avoid injury and to run quicker and more efficiently. Keen younger people that are very excited to get involved in sort of fundraising efforts like this. But for a lot of reasons, there is an age restriction. So for the big half in particular, the age restriction is 17. And I think this might be the same for the London Marathon, but that'll be available on the London Marathon website. But anyone looking to take part in any of those sorts of races, just check the official websites of that race. They'll be able to tell you that the cut-off point. But for the big half on the 3rd of September, the age is 17 and above. So that is a good question. I've already mentioned Mo Farah. It'd be great to run with him, but perhaps I might be a little bit too slow for him. I'm not too sure who I'd like to run alongside with. I'm trying to think of some famous people who might be quite slow that I could have a chance of beating. But certainly Farah would be one that would be brilliant to run alongside him, just to have a chat with him just about his career, because he's had such a great career, the places in the world that he's visited and the medals that he's won. Even just to go for a little jog with him, just to have a chat with him would be brilliant. But yeah, I can't. Oh, that's a good question. But yeah, definitely Mo Farah. If you're an experienced marathon runner, you will. There's lots of different things that you might do to prepare for a marathon. I know that a lot of experienced runners like to do a lot of hill running. Well, they don't like to, but they certainly add a lot of hill running to their training program. And I think part of that is obviously that's a lot tougher than running on flat ground. So that when you do come to race day and you're running the London Marathon, which is mostly flat, it hopefully then feels a bit easier. So yeah, lots of hill running. There's trail running as well, which is basically any sort of surface that isn't sort of road or pavement. So running in the woods, even in fields. Trail running is very popular, and sometimes you might need to wear a different type of running shoe for that. But that's really good fun as well. And really experienced runners like to run in sort of up mountains and all that sort of terrain. So it's good for I think it's supposed to be good for your body, just to adapt to different surfaces and different terrains by just mixing it up a little bit rather than just running on pavements and roads. And it's good fun as well, just a change of scenery as well, and a different environment. So yeah, it's good fun to mix up a little bit when you're doing your training. Good question. So for the big half, we've got at VICTA, we've got places for runners, and the registration fee, so that's just the initial signing fee with us, is just £25. And then the minimum sponsorship to run for us is £250. Actually, I've raised my 250 and I want to raise some more. There's a bit of time after the big half as well, just to add a bit more to your total. The logo is we've got our rainbow, which stands out so well on the running course. So when we're cheering sort of our VICTA runners, you can spot the rainbow logo quite clearly on the vests. And you can also get letters that you can get printed or ironed onto your vest as well. So even people that you don't know, complete strangers on the course, can shout out your name because I can see it on your vest. But absolutely, runners can be quite superstitious and like to wear the same T-shirt or the same vest that they wear in training that they do on race days. So if you run in a particular T-shirt when you're training that you think you'd be more comfortable in on race day, absolutely would encourage you to do that to make the most of your day. But just to support runners and just to get the name of the charity out there, and just because it looks really good as well, we've got our rainbow running vest that we can send out to anyone that wants one as well. For anyone that's thinking of doing it, I would say absolutely do it because you'll never regret it. But I would also say make sure you're really prepared for it. It is a very long way. And even the most experienced runners can get injured if they haven't prepared properly. So if you've never run a marathon before and you see one next week, that might be a little bit too soon for you. But I think a typical marathon training plan is about 16 weeks. So if you've never run a marathon before, that's the sort of time that you want to give yourself to prepare, and perhaps even longer if you've really never run before. So give yourself plenty of time. Make sure you find the right nutritional advice for you. Get in regular training. Those long runs towards the end of your training plan will feel like very long days and might feel like you want to give up. But the atmosphere and the environment on race day is so worth it. And when you cross that line and get your medal, you know you've truly earned it. So to anyone that's thinking about doing it, I'd say absolutely do it. And for that added bit of motivation to run for a charity, knowing that you're making a difference, and in our case, making a difference to the lives of children with a vision impairment, is just so powerful. So I would honestly encourage anyone that's thinking of doing it to get the right advice and come and find VICTA, and we'll find you a place on the London Marathon or the Big Half. No, you don't have to have a disability to run the Big Half. It's open to anybody to run. You mentioned British Blind Sport earlier. So, for example, if you are a runner with a vision impairment, you can, I believe, approach British Blind Sport to find you a guide runner in your area that will be able to support you with your training, and obviously on race day as well. For other disabilities, I'm not too sure. The London Marathon has a wheelchair race, for example. But I know for blind runners, of runners with a vision impairment, I think British Blind Sport is the best place to go to find a guide runner for you. But we're very lucky at VICTA. We've got lots of runners who do have a vision impairment that we're able to find, who are able to find guide runners for themselves, which is brilliant. Obviously, would encourage that as well. So yeah, open to all. And if you are someone with a vision impairment, like I say, British Blind Sport might be able to help you find a guide runner just to get you started on your training journey. All of our social media handles, so that's we're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. I think we're VICTA UK. So VICTA is VICTA and then UK. So VICTA UK. Our phone number for the office is 01908 240 831. On our website, so www.victa, that's VICTA, victa.org.uk. Depending on who you want to speak to, there's a list of all of our email addresses. But if you're just not sure who to reach, the best one is admin, so admin@victa.org.uk. But if you want to speak to the activities team or the marathon team, there's separate email addresses on the website for them as well. So the website has everything. Our social media, just one more time, is at VICTA UK, so that's VICTA UK. Then our website is victa.org.uk.